Hello. I've got to say good evening and welcome back to another edition of the Boot Bones Cop Talk EV. I must say,
Oh,
easy Preds.
hey!
Welcome, yeah. Good evening and welcome one and all. Another edition. So we're going to say good evening, Preds. As you just stumped in there, the mouth with a stick.
I'm all right. How is everybody? I'm all good.
We're good, man. We're good.
Good
Dr.
evening,
Blake.
everybody.
Dr. Blake, glad to see you feeling better this week, man.
Yeah, feeling much better. Looking forward to the weekend and seeing the mighty Reds finish the season strongly, man.
Okay. Stoney, how are we doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I actually wanted to come on this week's show and speak a little bit about the segment with Hull. But I don't think I'd be able to do that after the departure of their manager and me eating humble pie now about Carvalho. So I suppose I'm gonna have to leave that. But hey, they didn't make the playoffs. It is what it is. I'm not gonna get my agent.
Playoffs, yeah?
Huh?
What?
Nah, they didn't.
Oh,
They didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't make it, man.
Okay.
They're seventh.
I was going to say, I said they did. I was thinking, right, they still sat.
Imagine that seventh and you get sacked.
Well, they weren't playing attacking football like the owners wanted.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy, isn't it? These owners want attacking football, but not successful football. Hey,
It's crazy.
Highway Rooney, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But hey,
Klopp going in there, isn't it?
well, gentlemen, we played the old Spursy lot down there in their toilet bowl stadium. We had Tottenham Hotspurs, gentlemen. 4-2. I think majority of Liverpool fans really wanted that win, especially after what happened to us in the first game against them. So, you know, we was blatantly robbed, and I think we really wanted to win this game. Felt we couldn't lose this game, and well, what a start we made, eh? What was so different here then? Because that's not like us. We normally start slow, go a goal down before we start bucking up our ideas. But before you blink, lads, we was 4-0 up. So what was different?
I think Jurgen Klopp and Salah had a chance to speak over a protein shake, and Salah said that he was going to come back good. Yeah, because I think Salah got the early goal for us, but I think for the majority of the time that he was playing, I felt like that was like a throwback Salah. So I don't know what conversations happened there, whether they would have cleared the year, and he just said, listen, he's going to knuckle down and just produce for us. But that was a throwback performance to me from Salah. But I actually enjoyed the game. I know we're going to dissect it throughout the show. But yeah, we managed to get back to winning ways at Anfield. And I was just happy.
Yeah.
Happy with the
Listen,
result.
I'm not being funny, right? But the Salah performance, that should have happened 2 months ago. It's long overdue. It's all of a sudden now. Yeah, we know what, we're at the title race, the next one. No, we needed him to step up at that point. I will put my hand up because I've been a critic of Gapko recently.
Hey, stick a pin. We are gonna get there. Don't worry.
All right. But
gonna get there.
But I just thought I'd just get that little bit of fire out of my system.
You'll get your chance to talk on that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, Salah, long overdue. But I let my fire out. I'm cool now.
Okay. Doctor.
Yeah, I think echoing the panel's view so far, I just think, I don't know, we'll get time to dissect the game, but Mo on fire, it just felt like we had balance. It just felt that the tactics, the selection, there was just balance. Trent wasn't doing this, I need to be PLO routine and coming in the field and creating all kind of dramas. Trent held the width, came in when he needed to. Mo, at 32 years old, was then able to then play a lot more narrow and coming from the flank, which suits where he is now at this stage of his career. And it just worked. It just, I just think, when you put players on the pitch in roles that they are suited to, then you get, I guess, better performances.
100%
And I think the midfield was particularly good. And I know when I saw the lineup, my initial views were it felt a bit too small. But then I just think you look at all the midfield and even the front three, and you think the one thing that you can all do is look after the ball. You can all keep the ball. You can all play possession-based football while still having a level of athleticism to press a little bit as well. So I just felt, it made perfect sense why we got a lot more of a balanced performance. Like everyone could do like similar things, and it just flowed.
Okay. Good evening, VW. Nice of you to join us, sir. And VW goes on to say he agrees with Pred's fine form with nothing to play for. Shake my head. Talking about Salah. Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's true. We did need that performance a month ago. Well, a few performances like that, to be fair, not just one. And that's like your talisman. You expect him to step up at the big times. So yeah, very sad he hasn't. And then he decides to turn up when it's all gone out the window, to be honest. Okay, first of all, gentlemen, I'm actually going to start with Tottenham, actually, because I was very, very surprised by, especially their midfield, and no James Maddison, and starting, what's his name? Højbjerg? Is it Højbjerg?
No, was it Bentancur that started?
Bissouma. Hold on, was it Bissouma,
Sarr and Bentancur. Bentancur was over on the left hand side. Yeah.
I was quite surprised at that, being that I'm sure people will be looking at Liverpool as a team that you can get at. And like I said at the start of the show, like we normally go a goal down. We haven't been the greatest defensively, and one of your most attacking and one who can find that through ball, you leave him on the bench. What do you think Andrew's thinking there then?
I think because of their previous 3 games where they've been defeated for the last 3 games, I think he took the footballers out of the team and brought in players that were workmanlike to try and contain Liverpool to a point and try and frustrate Liverpool. And I think Liverpool just kind of ripped that kind of playbook out, that page out of that playbook, and Liverpool just went. The press was brilliant, and I don't think that the Spurs midfield could deal with our mobility and our footballing intelligence on Sunday in the middle of the park.
Doctor.
Yeah, I think Spurs have. There's been a slight comparison to our season from the perspective of they had some really key players out injured, like some really big players. I think at one point they probably had, 5 of their 7 best players out injured. And then obviously they were still churning out results similar to us. And then it almost feels like when their big players came back, it almost made them worse. And if you look at their results since Maddison and the like have come back into the team, it just hasn't been impressive. And it's almost coincided with their worst run. So I think, and just clearly tried to find a different way to approach things. And it hasn't worked. And I think, that's like one of the worst places to be as a manager, right? When you're trying things and you're still getting slappings. So it was, but I understood it. You have a bit more kind of more physicality and athleticism in the midfield. But I think, as Pred said, I thought our tactics were just spot on. We were so narrow when they had the ball, and just everyone, tactical awareness, knowing when to press. Then when we get the ball, being able to then use it, keep it, maneuver it. I thought it was really, really top stuff from us, man.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah, it was interesting that Tottenham changed their formation. I'm not saying that they changed it just for us, because they've been playing that 4-2-3-1 with quite a lot of success against us. But it seemed like Ange wanted to play a similar formation, and tactically we were just far too superior for them on the day. I think they missed Ndogi on when we played them last, because I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think was it Emerson Royal that played at left back?
Yeah,
Emerson Royal. Yeah, Emerson Royal played at left back. So I think they missed And Dodgy, you can see they were exposed quite a lot on that side. You can see that Bentancur is probably just coming back to fitness as well. But look, I'm grateful for it. I think from their side, Johnson, I thought had a good game. That was a nice sort of duel him and Trent were having over that side. And obviously protected over on our side with Harvey Elliott. But yeah, it was a good game. But I just think it's Ange playing Ange football. I think he'd be happy scoring 6 goals but conceding 5, and I can't see that changing going into next season at all. So it's good.
Very, very, very interesting. I thought it was very interesting how they came out at us. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, interesting. Trying to contain it at Anfield, don't think it's really a good idea, to be honest myself. I think you have to go and try and get something out of the game, to be fair. And as I said before, you've seen what we're like. If you put us under pressure at the back, you might sneak one. And if you sneak one and go one up, then we have to come at you. We might leave a few more spaces for you to hit us on the counter, which we know that they can be very good at. Son's got good pace. Johnson's got good pace. Kulusevski's got good pace. So, you know, the opportunities would be there, to be fair. So I was quite happy with the way that they came out, to be fair. I was like, oh, okay. I think that this might be your downfall. So, yeah, I must say, gonna send a shout goes out to Mr. Solo. Yeah. I'm glad that he's actually come and joined us after they got a slappings, Ross, as we would say, a real slappings down at the old Palace. Yeah, nice to have you on board, Solo, mate. Yeah, that one really did cheer me. Us winning and watching you not get a slapping.
That was brutal, boy.
Really
that was brutal.
That was sweet, man. That was sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
It was brutal.
It's not like playing dominoes. Just needed one more game.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. Because you know what it is. Just on that game quickly. If you're Casemiro, if you get done like that, what then like Elise can't then do is then score. Like the very worst that should happen is he gets an assist after doing that. But if he now scores now, you're done.
You're finished. You're finished.
Like, but you see,
he got cooked.
But you see the thing makes it even worse, right? They went and hold 4 at Palace, and we can't beat them. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, Preds, you know what, bro? I'm trying to not think of it from that perspective. I'm just trying to maintain a bit of positivity.
It shows you what these teams will do when they come to play us. How they raise their game.
Yeah, but
also nothing changes, right, man.
But nothing's changed in the last few years. Everyone raises their game against Liverpool, regardless. Like, I mean, when Liverpool on a downer, Liverpool people are raising their game because we was on a downer, and it was a good thing to. It was. I mean, let's hammer Liverpool while they're down. When Liverpool was on the upper, you had to come correct, otherwise you're gonna get piped. So it's like no different.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's like when the big boy used to run the estate, and then he started to take a little juice, and you see him on a downfall, and then people start coming up and bullying him. That's probably like one of the things. But what was interesting though, like what you guys were saying about Casemiro, I think if Man United had played that team against us, we played them, they would have got done. Casemiro, I'm sure his rating couldn't have been more higher than 3.5. I was having a conversation with somebody at work regarding, and they support Man United actually. They were saying, as much as they hate to say it, they miss Fred, because when Casemiro's in the middle of the park, like Casemiro's legs are done, but when he was in the middle of the park, at least he had Fred to do his running. On Saturday, over the weekend, it was Evans and Casemiro playing at centre back. Oh my goodness. Elise and Eze must have been licking their lips.
Of course.
So crazy, man.
But I think that's Preds' point, though, right? We should have been licking our lips when they had Harry Maguire and that. I can't remember what my man's name is.
The youngster in it.
And we've got
the difference is at least Harry Maguire's a natural centre half. That's the difference.
Yeah,
Casemiro isn't.
But he's garbage, bro.
And his legs are gone. So,
but the thing is though, Harry Maguire's garbage. Yeah, their midfield setup so bad that their defensive has got no protection. Harry Maguire's got zero mobility. You're at Old Trafford, this big, massive pitch, and we're doing nonsense. So actually, Prez has got a point in it. Like, where they're laughing against Man United, but that's a team that effectively broke our season. So, boy, like, the joke's on us to even check it.
For real.
That's so true.
Because they're terrible.
But to leave it on a positive thing, all right? They're frauds. They're frauds to the supporters. They're frauds to the manager. They're frauds to the club because they turn up. They play against Liverpool. They come to Anfield. What was Anfield's score?
But Fred's question. But I guess question
1-1.
But the thing is, did they turn up against us?
No,
well,
we threw the game away.
We were just terrible.
We were terrible, but they obviously turned up because they were on. I don't think they were in a great place when they came to us at Anfield, and they weren't in a great place.
They showed a bit of heart. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, so for us to finish on a positive, they're frauds. Absolute frauds. They're going up at the end of the game, and the Man United supporters are clapping them. Listen, they're lucky they didn't get bottles thrown at them because that's what they deserved.
It's true. They were poor still.
I don't advocate violence, by the way.
But we spoke about 2 weeks ago about would we take a certain Crystal Palace striker over our own striker?
Yeah.
And the evidence is mounting. The evidence is mounting. The evidence is mounting.
Yeah. Remember that? Remember what I said, yeah?
The evidence is mounting.
Remember what I said, bro. Yeah.
Because Mateta,
however,
physicality, leading the line, hold up play, and he's got feet, and the finish is there. And I tell you what, mate. I tell you what. If we had Mateta when we played Manchester United, we are through, yeah, and we have not dropped points in the league, and that's worrying to say that. Worrying. Mateta should not be making a difference to our season.
I'm telling you, right?
I'm gonna keep a dignified silence on that one. You woke up the beast, boy. You woke up the beast.
He's not happy at all.
Wake up the beast.
It's real talk, man. It's real talk. Remember, I told you that, yeah? Okay. So, even before we went 4-0 up, gents, we looked on the money, man. We had them under pressure on the back foot.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes, they tried to have a little go. Nullified that, nothing never came of it, and then we was all over them, man. We was on the ball.
Well, it's like I've been following the geezer, the Tottenham Sport online, the social media on TikTok, wherever it is, and he's talking about they were looking to go top 4 instead they got piped for.
Damn right.
And they looked like they were in a construction site, and I just think I think Liverpool. Like Dr. Blake has said, I think that the tactics are spot on. The players, it seemed like the balance was there within the team. We got encouragement, and we kept on doing it. And we done it in a way where, I mean, that's what one of our strengths was that press. We defended from the front, and I think we done that with abundance, and we done that with intensity and with purpose. To the point where we done it over and over again, where we wore Tottenham down to the point where they still wanted to play, which was, listen, if they want, that's their philosophy. If they wanted to keep playing, fair enough. However, like, if you think about it, there was a few times in the game, if they would have done a long ball down the wing, they were actually 3-on-3 in our defense. They were actually 3-on-3, but they tried to keep playing out. And, you know, whether that's something that the manager wanted them to do over and over again is something for Tottenham supporters to have a conversation on. It was just a case of, I think our press was intense, with purpose, with intent. And we finally, when we did press and we got the ball back, finally we done something with it, which was a difference.
I'm just about to ban someone from the group, gentlemen. Yeah, from the group chat. This nonsense again. JWP would make a change to our season. Listen, brother, I don't even know how you're going to step in and say that after you see the midfielders that we've got in, and you still want to talk about this JWP, brother. Bro, please, I beg. Yeah? Man's been harping on about this, brother, for about 2 years.
He's in player with, bro. Like, you know what? He's the kind of man. I wouldn't mind him for a squad role, but that's not like a transformational sign.
A certain panelist is saying that the guy's going to change our season.
Yeah.
Last season, I think it would have been a good move. I think we were struggling, but sorry, then.
When I look at what we got now, I'm like, nah, we're good, man. We're good.
We're good. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good.
Sorry, gents. Like, just on Ward-Prowse, or not wanting to, I guess,
don't feed him.
Go back in time. Obviously, I missed last week, but either side of our game against West Ham, obviously like the Mo Salah incident. Obviously, I know we just spoke about it last week. They've conceded 5 goals to their opponents, 5 against Palace, and then 5 against Chelsea, and then where they're throwing away our title, like flipping seriously.
I know.
Like I know. It really is hard to fathom how bad we've been. And then you then think about, as we mentioned about West Ham, and you've got Crystal Palace, Man U. You've got Crystal Palace absolutely cooking them. And we're like, what, 5-on-2, 4-on-2, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, 2v2. Like, we can't, seriously.
It's a lot to take in, man. It is
seriously.
A lot to take in.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Doctor.
Just want the season to end now.
I won't apologize. I won't apologize for opening up a can of worms because
that's the truth. That is the truth.
It is. It is like we're going around and we're saying this team, that team. It was a time when Liverpool, the players, at a particular point of the season, they need to step up, and the results that we got were simply not good enough for a team that was battling for the title. Going to West Ham, losing it, then drawing at West Ham, losing at home to Crystal Palace, drawing at Man United.
When we went top, Everton. Right? We went top, innit? That's right. We went top, innit? And then we had a game against United.
And, and people say, it's been a long season. We've had longer seasons. We played more games previously. This season we played less. Well. Yeah, this season we've played less games. So, is it a case of? I go back to an interview that VVD said at the end of Everton. How many of those players actually really wanted to win the league? Who wanted to actually roll their sleeves up and say, look, tiredness is not a factor, because the hunger of winning that league, is the overarching objective, and you step it up. And when you're playing teams like these teams that needed to be dispatched, and with 28 shots on target, 28 shots, and you don't score a goal, or you score 2 goals, what's like?
Yeah, and it's like man aren't even vexed.
28 shots. And you got Darwin Núñez taking 22. Then you know what I mean? And
I know we're going to talk about Darwin at some point. We probably will, but it's almost like these men aren't even vexed. Like when we play against Man City, Bernardo Silva will literally, if he has to try and stab you in the match so he can win the game, he's going to do that. Remember last season when he was literally hanging onto Mo's collar and jumped up in mid-air and Mo's having to run and carry him? You just think like man are willing to leave it all on the pitch, innit? Like if you're gonna beat me, you have to go through me, innit?
Yep.
Then you got Cody Gapko's headed challenge against Bowen against West Ham, and you're like, bruv, you're 6'3", and Bowen's 5'6", and he's like he's out jumped you. It's just like, you soft tossers, bruv. Seriously, Yeah.
Ah.
Nah, it gets to me, man. Because I think if anything, show some fight on the pitch. Show some fight on the pitch. And our man aren't even doing the old school. Like, you know, when you had like the whole sore loser players where when the team starts losing, they'll start kicking man or they're on the ref or they're doing something in it. Our man are just like, okay, fine. Just like, no. You're meant to be getting vexed. Like, you're meant to be leaving on a man or doing something. Whereas it seems like our man are only getting vexed on social media and like deleting club images. Nunes, it's like what you blaming the fans because you're toe punting in front of goal. I just don't get it.
Yeah, but but to be fair, you can't be going around doing death threats and telling man that you're going to do.
You are right.
You know what I mean, like, yeah, it's a game of football, and we're all passionate. We're all passionate about this game of football, and we all want to do as much as we all want to do as well as we possibly can. But come on, man, who in their right minds going online threatening the guy? You know what I mean? Death threats and all that. That's crazy.
Yeah, like if that is.
Look at this one there. Like Klopp says, we've got no space for you in our club.
Yeah, I hope he's talking to Darwin. Yeah, I hope he's talking to flipping Darwin, mate. Vinny, see that comment, and I will get to that. Don't worry, I will get to that. And this is going back to a point that that Doctor mentioned earlier as well. Imagine you had the kids keep you in the race on all four fronts, and then the big ballers come back and flop the show. Going back to what you said, Doctor, about not leaving it, I think, on the pitch. Soft tossers, he's saying. Yep. So, gentlemen, 4-0 up. Then Klopp starts to make these substitutions a bit rash as far as I was concerned. And then before you blink, it's flipping 4-2. And it's not looking so comfortable again. We've argued before about Klopp taking too long to make subs. Do you think that he needed to make those subs so quickly and so rashly on against Tottenham? Because I think that's what unsettled the team.
I think the subs kind of came a little while. Our subs, if I remember, they came. I think Tottenham made 3 subs. I think Skip, Richarlison,
yeah.
I think it was Skip, Richarlison, and who was it you said didn't play? Madison, innit? So
Madison.
We made. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I remember Madison came on just for Basuma got the card. We made our 3 subs after Tottenham made their 3 subs, and I think their 3 subs just had more of an impact than our ones, because I think Gomez came on, Stefan came on, and then Gravenberch, and I think it was Skip, Richarlison, and Madison. I just think they just had a stronger impact when they came on than our players did. I don't know whether Tottenham had changed their formation when they come on and went back to the 4-2-3-1. I'm not too sure whether they just remained in a 4-3-3. But they just seemed a completely different team, especially when Richarlison came on. And we just seemed like we was in the back foot. I was watching it with a Man United supporter, funny enough. And even when we were with our goals at the advantage, sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, even when we were 4-0 up, I was saying that Tottenham's going to come back in the game. And it was like, what were you talking about? I said, believe me, the 4 goals is what we needed. Because if it was on a 3 and they started coming back in the game, there would have been an issue for us. That's how I felt anyway. So, but I don't know.
Yeah,
still 4 goals were enough.
Yeah, listen, I make you right, because at 4-0, they didn't score from the goal. I mean, the opportunity. But I'm watching, I'm thinking to myself, how are we getting counter-attacked and we're 4-0 up? It's just like, what's going on in it? Is this man just tactics? Is this players trying to atone for things? Like, who knows what's going on? But how are we getting countered and we're 4-0 up?
I think
they didn't score the goals, but it's just like, what's going on?
I think that performance when we were 4-0 up and we've made those changes, I think that kind of spelt out how I ended the third or our last quarter of the season has gone, where we've been very naive, not doing no game management, and it was almost like, you know, when you're in the playground and you've 4-0 up, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to go and score.
Everybody's a striker.
Yeah,
All of
everyone
us.
wants. Don't worry about what you've been doing. We want to go and score. We want to think, and that left us open. And then they brought on, and I agree with what Stoney's saying. That their subs had more of an impact, positive impact on them, in respect of they had more. Yeah, they had more of an impact. Richarlison was going in behind. The Celso was picking up the ball and they were keeping the ball a little bit more. To be fair, the best thing they've done was take off Emerson Royal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, and I think once they took off Emerson Rowe, I think they started to flourish slightly. But we were just very naive in the final quarter of that game.
Emerson Rowe was a shambles, mate.
Yeah, but but that was our season. You know what I mean? We're 4-0 up, but we're still on the edge of our seats because the game weren't done. And then they've gone and scored one, and then gone and scored another one, and all of a sudden now. And by the way, like Gomez has then made a great interception at the far post, which incidentally they then looked at it at VAR, so that could have changed it. You know, it was just too much of a basketball game, and we had control, we made subs, we lost control, and we didn't regain that control back, and that's the disappointing thing about that game.
That's my point with that question was, just because that they made their subs don't mean that we had to make ours. That team got us 4-0 up, as far as I'm concerned. I'm playing them, and even though they've made their subs, I'm going to watch them for a while and see how we're going, but I'm playing that team still. And if I am going to, it's 1 on 2 players, not making 3 or 4. 1 on 2 players. I need to keep that pattern of play, at least.
I think if there's
anything like it will be, like what Doctor related to, how are we getting counter-attack? Ball retention now. That should be our thing. We should be sucking them in. And having them chasing. Not for real. How the hell are we getting counter attack and you're 4-0 up? It just doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. If there was one substitute to make,
like
it was
you said, schoolboy football.
Yeah, schoolboy. And you're right. And to answer your question, we didn't really need to make those subs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the one sub that I would agree in doing was Stefan. That was the one sub I'd think, you know what, the boys come back, first game of the season, right? 4-0 up. He's decent with the ball, we can keep it. But then we put on, Gomez went left back when Robertson. Why are we taking off Robertson? Because it's not like we've got a midweek Champions League game or anything. So why put him on? And then Ryan Gravenberch, there was no need, and the front three were actually working really well on Saturday. So, and he's rested Salah. Why not just keep it? What the need was to put Darwin Núñez on was, I don't know. So in answering your question, you're absolutely right. We didn't need to make as many changes as we needed to.
Vinny says 4-0 up ain't nothing to be unsettled about. Shows that this team are like Angels Delight, light and fluffy with no depth. So Breeze goes on to say, if we don't sign a number 9 next season, we'll finish outside the top 4. Rob, hello Rob, how you doing, son? Rob says City and Arsenal to lose all remaining fixtures, Klopp to lift the trophy. Bookies will give him 1,000 to 1.
So we're like, bro. So we're like giving you that as well.
Tell you what, if that happens, mate, they're making that into a film straight away.
I'm telling you, put a tenner on that. Most definitely, mate. Put a tenner on that. Okay, gentlemen, let's get down to we have to now. Some player watches, because obviously, I have to start with, for me, the difference of not having Curtis Jones and having Harvey Elliott in there. But let's talk about Harvey Elliott first and foremost.
For me, the boy's growing. He's almost saying, right, I want the shirt. I want the shirt, and I'm showing what I'm learned, and everything that he's learned over the last few seasons. I think everything came to the fore on Sunday. He was positive. He was hungry. He was brave. And for a young player, not many young players take shots or shoot. And I think where he's even some of the balls in the first half, he's chipped the ball in first half into the box. His quality on the ball, and he's not just in the team for his young legs and his energy. he's now, I think, he's now putting a point across to say, you know what, I'm on this team on merit in respect of I can do that bit, but I can also, in the final third or with the ball, I'm also got quality, and he's actually showing that now in abundance. And I'm, you know what, good on the kid.
Okay, Stoney, Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, yeah, he was one of a trio of players ending up getting a goal and assist. So it was Salah got a goal and assist, Gapko, and so did Harvey Elliott. I think it's good that when he's playing that he's remaining over on the right-hand side in midfield. So you can obviously see he's quite comfortable there. And similarly with Salah, he likes cutting in. I mean, even his goal was a peach. The camera angles they were showing for the flight of that ball was just so nice, and you can see he was elated. So yeah, it's good that he's getting game time. I don't know how old he is now. Was he? No, he's still in the under 21s, ain't he? So I think yeah. So
21, I think.
21.
No, 21 still.
He must be about 21.
Yeah,
So I think for him, he's had an opportunity. 21, yeah. So he's had a few seasons, a lot of game time, Premiership experience, Champions League experience, Europa experience, and obviously experience for playing in the England under 21s. His trajectory is good, it's positive, and yeah, we'll just see. I still think that his best position, I think, is where Salah's position is. Also, I say the right forward position. I would like to see him play there more. But if he's able to be effective in two different positions, then it just bodes well for us. So yeah, he was my player of the match actually. Yeah, good game.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, really encouraged by Harvey. I think, yeah, echoing the points that I know Pred's mentioned as well. When you come into a team like Liverpool and you're a young player, I think it can be really hard to express yourself and not show deference to the senior pros around you. And I think when you've got someone like Mo Salah and Trent, who you're playing around, you're normally in their side of the pitch. You've got one of the best passers in the world, world-class winger in Mo, who just wants service. So I think, you know what I mean, it must be quite hard for someone like Elliott, who knows that he's got quality, but to get the balance of doing what the team needs me to do to service these two versus expressing myself and sharing my quality. And I do think he's probably played within himself in recent games, even seasons, to the point where I'm just making like the whole team tick. But I just think as he becomes more established, as he gets a role where he's got more creative license, I think we're going to see, I guess, more quality from him, man. And I just think for the composure that he showed when he first came into the team and just the different attributes he's picked up, as Pred mentioned about his work rate, the tactical discipline, but I think, yeah, we can't forget that this is a very talented technician. And yeah, I think sky's the limit, like for Harvey. I think he's got the technical and the physical side of his game now on lock. Obviously, he's not the biggest player, but he's got that intensity to his pressing. So I just think now he's probably got a platform to express himself. And next season, I think can be quite a big one for him, man.
Okay. All right. Just before we move on to the
And
next
you know as well.
Sorry?
You know, as well, sorry, I do apologize. Just to add on a second note to what Doctor was saying as well, I think Harvey Elliott's performance also contributed to how much we dominated midfield, because Bentancur was getting rough up the whole game. I think Bentancur at no stage in that game did Bentancur have an advantage in any running position, running off the ball, any form of duels on Harvey Elliott. And I think, once again, it's just credit to how he's developing. So sorry, I do apologize on that.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's a good point, man.
Just one thing I wanted to quickly, guys, before we move on to the next player, because there's a lot of talk about how our young players are developing compared to others. So how do you see Harvey Elliott compared to the likes of like Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and players like that, gentlemen?
Well,
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, because I think Harvey Elliott is finding his feet and he's got great potential, and I'm not going to put huge amounts of pressure on the kids' shoulders. I think that Foden and Palmer are slightly, if I'm honest, in the footballing terms, I think they're probably another level above him in regards to affecting the game on a consistent basis. However, he's building that momentum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Foden, I think, is just a bit special. I think Foden's almost in his category by himself in terms of just his like natural ability and technical skills. Palmer's an interesting one because I think Palmer is very much he's got a strong mentality, Palmer, and it's not to say that Harvey doesn't, but Palmer wants to be the main man. Now, I don't think Palmer can play like he does for Chelsea at a top club because teams aren't having it. Like, you're not being the main man at Man City because you're not good enough yet. Whereas Chelsea is essentially have been a mid-table club. So I think Palmer's been given a interesting platform to kind of showcase his talent, whereas Harvey needs to fit into the system. So, yeah, maybe Harvey and Palmer might be closer in levels, but it's just that I think like Palmer, yeah, I'm not saying that Harvey's better than Palmer, but Palmer might have like a little bit more than him, but I think they're probably slightly more comparable. But I just think, Harvey's going to develop at his own pace, and yeah, maybe in 4 to 5 years' time, he kind of catches them up to a certain extent. Like, we'll see, man.
Okay, Stoney?
Yeah, you're right. I think it's just about trajectory. Different positions that you're able to play in, different game time, different players that you're up against in terms of competition. Because if we're looking at those players that you mentioned, they're all give or take around 21, 22. I think Cole Palmer's 22. Foden's just a little bit younger. Saka falls into that category because Saka's 22 as well. So I think it just depends on game time. But he'll come good. I'm happy with his progression and his trajectory. So yeah, we'll just see where it leaves him.
I definitely agree in saying that Foden is definitely special, boy. And I always say this, there's certain players and they're just born to play football.
It's just different, isn't it?
He's one of them, 100%. 100. I get a joy watching him play ball. Yeah. You understand? With them kind of ballers there, he's definitely man, definitely 100%. 110. Rui, nice of you to join us. He says, Darwin, come to Benfica. Rui, I will drop him to the airport and buy the ticket. How's about that? Yeah? No, not a problem, mate.
Just before, I know these players are, listen, you can't compare them, but you see, when you're speaking about Foden and his trajectory and how well he's done and how much he's lovely to watch, I just thought he was actually in the same under-17s tournament as Brewster, innit? And look how their careers have just gone in different directions for various reasons, just for various reasons. But look how their pathways have just gone completely different. And at that stage, Rian was getting more game time at Liverpool than Foden was. Wow, football, man.
I'm telling you. We said it's a telling sight that the senior players are now giving Elliott the ball to do his stuff. The senior players, I feel, now trust him. And he goes on to say, Palmer, who is amazing, I think doesn't do well in a system. Elliott, I believe, can fit well in any system. Okay, I get that. Right, gentlemen, the next player we definitely have to talk about is Mr. Cody Gapko. So, yeah. You know what? Preds, go on, son. I'm going to let Preds kick this one off. Go on. I got some. Where I was looking for some humble pie somewhere about here, somewhere around there.
First and foremost, can I congratulate Cody on his young child that he's got.
Man, get to the damn football.
No. I'm getting there. He's a new dad now, and he's brought a kid into the world. Well, his wife's brought a kid into the world, and he's a new dad. So fair play to him. Congratulations. On one side, I can see where the pressure was in regards to the performances. I can understand now where there was a few dips. He was a bit worried, weren't they? New father and all that. We've all been there. Some of us have all been there. And okay, I'll eat a bit of humble pie in respect of his last couple of performances. They've been very, very good. Incidentally, I think he must have been listening to Cop Talk, because since I've absolutely hammered him, he's pulled up his socks, he's rolled his sleeves up, and he's cracked on, and he's done really well. So for that, I applaud him.
Okay. Stoney.
Yeah, listen, there's as Preds was saying, there's nothing wrong with eating a bit of humble pie. I've had to do it with Joe Gomez, because I tell you, I've been absolutely berating him, and then he's come good. But Cody must have been drinking some stout or something, because he actually seemed stronger. Maybe, as you said, we don't know what's happening with the pregnancy. May have been weighing down on him and XYZ, but he played with purpose. He played with vigor. I liked it that he was dropping off so much deeper into midfield occasionally, but not dropping off playing like a midfielder. And there was a couple of times he was playing, I kept thinking, oh, he'd been watching some Bobby videos, because he was there. We obviously know that he's got a cute touch as well. I thought his link-up play was good, and I'm just really happy for him that he got a goal and assist. And for him, that was well-deserved. But yeah, he seemed to be at home in that game. And if that is going to be a feature of things to come, then yeah, I'm going to relish watching Gapko, man. But yeah, credit to him.
Doctor.
Yeah, I was pleased for Cody. I'm still not convinced though, and I'll tell you why. So Cody scored a headed goal. Who did we beat 3-1 a couple of weeks back? And Robbo does that early cross and he charges onto the ball. Because it's Sheffield United. There you go. So he scored a headed goal against Sheffield United, and then he scores a headed goal against Spurs. Now, obviously, this is a part of his game that should be further developed, for the fact that he's 6'3", 4. Like, he's a tall brother, right? He's tall. And I think, yeah, we have to congratulate him on a good performance, and it was a great goal. But I'm looking to win major trophies. And for me, I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I think I can count on you to do that. So yes, it was encouraging. Yes, I think you're talented, but you've scored 2 headed goals, but I still can't get past the headed attempt against Bowen when you've shirked that against West Ham. So someone's just like, yeah, I do feel sorry for you, because I think we've spoken as well that he hasn't been used in his position. And I think, look, it's not rocket science. A guy's played 3 years and does very well playing on the left wing. You then sign him and turn him into Bobby Firmino, and now you move him back onto the left wing, and guess what? He's playing better. I think sometimes football's a simple game, right? Like, I look good playing on the left wing, play me on the left wing. And I do think maybe at times we've overcomplicated things. So I do think that is something that does need to be considered when thinking about Cody. And you can see him and Robbo have got a very good understanding. I think actually him and Robbo's understanding is better than Diaz and Robbo. And then obviously like the pass to Moses. I think he's a talented player who's clearly got attributes, but I'm still not sure if it's enough for us to win and challenge for the major games. And not to single him out, but I just think if you're 6'3", I don't expect you to lose a headed goal against Bowen like that at West Ham, because it's challenging and competing for big honours that are gonna kind of I guess be your judgment, because the previous person who's playing left wing for Liverpool was Sadio Mane. So let's not say anything else. Like, we're not defining Mane by the odd game against Spurs and Sheffield United. We're defining Mane against his clutch goals against Bayern Munich in Munich, and us winning major trophies under Mane. So good from Cody, but I need to see more.
Okay, so just a few things on that, what you said there. We've spoken about this before many a times, Doctor, even before you was on part of the panel. So being tall doesn't make you good in the air.
Agree.
And like I've said before, some of the best headers of the ball that I've played with have been 5 foot and change, and they've been dominant in the air. Being good in the air is about timing, not your height. It's actually about your timing. Attempting, that's another thing. So you know what, you might not be good, but you put in a good attempt to put the other player off. That I do understand. With Gakpo as well, I also feel that we do need to see more, but I think that's going to come because when we've spoken about before, another thing we spoke about before is when players start getting a run of games to build up some kind of consistency. This stop start in 1 minute. Remember, Darwin was the golden boy beforehand. He couldn't get in. Gapko couldn't get a start. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden now, he's starting games and he's playing regular. Now all of a sudden you're starting to see decent performances from him. And this is what I'm saying. People need a run in the team, and that's when you can really judge them. And he's only just recently had a run in the team. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, we do need to see more. We need to see that on a more consistent basis. But I still say, I reckon, if you play him, I think we will see it.
So yeah, I agree with that still, and I think like we've gone over this before, and he's been used as a conventional number 9, right winger, false 9, left side. He's even used as a number 8 at one point in time. So he hasn't been given a extended run in his favorite position, 100. So I think that does need to be considered when making a judgment on Cody. I guess my point on Cody, and I'll ask the panel this. Depending on what we do over the summer, if Cody, I guess the question would be, if Cody is our starting left winger, that's in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, do you think he's of a level of quality for us to win the Champions League and the league?
I would say yes, and I'll give you my reasons why I say that. Because he scores goals and he assists, and that's definitely two of the qualities that you really want from that kind of player. So definitely, I think he scores goals and he assists.
I think as players get older, they obviously mature in a footballing manner, and I do believe that he has the potential to be a forward that could be involved or play a really big part in Liverpool getting honours in the future. I think the one of the major things that I've noticed in the last few weeks, and I mean, we've saying about he's changed positions. I don't think he actually changed positions. I think he started down the middle, but I think the fluidity of the front three in regards to their movement.
Diaz are doing that, and they're moving left.
Yeah. So if you think about the first goal that Liverpool scored on Sunday, Diaz has gone inside, Gakpo's gone outside, the ball's on the outside on the left, the ball's come to Gakpo from a diag, and then Gakpo's then dribbled in, gone on his right, and then hit a ball in far post for Salah. And I think the major part of it is that we're now getting willing runners in behind him, whereas he was dropping short and there was no one running behind him with purpose or anything. And now all of a sudden, he's coming out. He's coming out. The rotation is really good. We're keeping the ball. We kept the ball a little bit better. But anyway, to cut a long story short, yes, I do believe so.
This is another thing I was going to say again. The ball seems to stick a lot more when Cody's up there than it does with Darwin.
Yeah, I completely. I've watched the last few games.
And that makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Diaz, it sticks with Diaz as well. Like if Diaz is left or central, the ball sticks with him.
But the thing, the ball sticks with him. But the problem the difference between Gakpo at the moment and Nunes is that Nunes is making blind runs, and is not being available to get the ball. Where Gakpo now recently is now making these little runs or being available. So then when Diaz gets the ball, he's in a position where he can get the ball, he keeps the ball, and that's what he's doing lately. He's Gakpo's been a lot more stronger, rather than before he was a bit wafer, wasn't he? He was a bit like
but
it was a bit like Angel. It was like
what Vinny been drinking too stout, man. You get me?
Yeah. It's like what Vinny was saying. It's a bit like Angel Delight, and it seems like the light bulb has come on in regards to him being in the Premiership and having to physically look after himself. And he's not, he's technically very good, but he's also got to bring in the other side of the game, which Premiership demands. The Premiership is a physically demanding league, and you need to show that you've got that, as well as the technical abilities, and if you can deal with the physical strength and everything like that, then his technical ability will shine through. So yeah.
Okay, Demas, big shouts to Demas. Says, good evening, gents. Article, glad your boys, especially Elliott, clap up Spuds, kept them boys in their place. I know he's gonna love that as an Arsenal fan. I know you're gonna love that, Demas. Big shouts, mate. Yeah, man. We did a job on them. Like they fully deserved it as well, man. Fully deserved it. VW saying, are you gents saying that Gapko is a flat track bully?
Liberties. Good against Spurs, Liberties. Flat track bully. Liberties.
Man's playing Beanie Siegel, bro. Trust me. Next player I want to talk about, gentlemen, is bringing back Endo into the side.
Well, I gotta be honest. Mine would be short and sharp, short and sweet. Sorry, I've backed this kid. I've backed him since he came into the club. He's gradually grown and got better and better, and had more and more of an influence on the Liverpool side. And for that, it's very evident what he does. He might not be the tallest in regards to how Fabinho was, but my does he get around the pitch, and he's starting to put himself about a bit. He's now actually doing the. Do you remember what Alonso? He's not as good as Alonso in regards to that, but remember Alonso? Alonso didn't tackle. Alonso just went down, just blocked lines of passing lines, and intercepting and doing things like that. And Endo has been doing that. And I think one of you lot didn't you? Someone put up a stat in regards to how many games that we've been successful with Endo in the side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding with Endo.
Okay.
He's fire.
Stoney.
Yeah, I think probably still forget that it's his first season that he's actually played for us, right? He's played 41 games in total for us this season. And I'm not going to say that I know all of the stats to do with it, all right? But of the 27 games that he's played in the Premier League, my opinion, I think he's just had a high percentage of having a positive impact. I think it took a little while for him to settle in. But once he was there, I think he's earned his stripes. But yeah, considering it's been his first season, I think he's had a really good impact for us. Very good signing.
Yeah, I like Endo, shrewd business, humble, works hard, ready for battle. I love the gum shields. He's got a good all-round game as a number 6 in terms of anticipates, blocks, passing lines, and he's not bad using the ball as well. I think he's a good all-round player, and I think it just goes back to the point that any team with aspirations to win major honours needs a strong number 6. I just don't think you can dance around that. And as good as Mac did start the season, but I just think sometimes you just got to just be realistic.
Who done the diag to Gapko for the first goal?
Endo.
Endo.
Yeah, he's got a good passing range, man. He's good.
Boy, he's got a good passing range. He's got good awareness. And I think, like you say, it's still surprising that this is his first season. I think, is he 32? But you can see that he looks after himself. He's got another couple of good seasons in him.
Definitely.
Another season at least.
Yeah.
How he fits in.
Players from that part of the world, they do look after themselves. They have a bit more longevity about them as well. So, all right then, gentlemen, quickly before we move on from Endo, would you be happy then going into next season with Endo and Bajcetic being our 2 number 6s?
For me, no.
For me, yes.
For me, no. I like that. Okay, so Blake says no. Fred says yes. Stoney?
I still think we need another one.
Okay.
I still think we need another one. And the only reason why I'm saying that, I just think that Stefan, you can still see physically he's developing. And if we was to go into next season just with Endo and then Stefan was to break down with injuries again, then I think we're putting ourselves in a vulnerable position. I would like to think we've got enough finance and a big enough scouting network for us to actually identify another person into the club in the number 6, and I still do not believe that will hinder Stefan's progress.
Okay,
I do.
that's one thing I was going to say. Is that going to hinder his progress then as well? So Reese is saying Endo via signs. Yeah, love that.
The only reason why I say that I don't think it's going to hinder his progress, I should have elaborated on that, is because we're going to be fighting for the league. We're going to be in the Champions League. We're going to be FA Cup and the League Cup. 4 different competitions we're going to be in. So I think that Stefan's going to get more than enough game time next season.
Here's one for you. What about Trent as a number 6?
No.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Midfielder, definitely, but not number 6. But it might happen next season. It'll be interesting to see what the new manager does. I just think Stefan is so young, and I don't think that position is what I would call a young player's position. Stefan had 10 games last season. He hasn't had he's had 1 start this season or 2 starts in the Europa League. I think it depends on where we are as a club and what we're trying to do. And I just think if we're trying to compete and win major honours, I just think that position is key for any team. And I don't know how good Stefan is right now. I don't know how reliable he is at the moment. But for me, I think if Stefan develops how I hope he does, then I would like to think probably by the end of next season, he's ready to basically keep Endo out of the team or out of the squad. But there should be a top player in that position who is the number 1. And Stefan's 19?
Yeah,
19.
19. Like, Harvey Elliott's only now kind of cementing himself as a regular squad role at 21. So, yeah, Stefan needs to earn his Spurs, for me. But look, it could be that he's like the next Busquets and comes into the first team and just looks absolutely class straight away and doesn't need it. Who knows? But I just think, any top team who wants to win major honours needs an elite number 6, and I don't know if Endo is that.
Okay. DW says he thinks that Trent might leave.
I think I think he's got a good point.
Listen, if he does go, he's probably go. If he does go, he'll probably go to Madrid, and we get a bag of money. It is what it is, and then we move on. I ain't getting emotional about it. I like Trent, but if he moves on, it's still going to be good. So listen, the way I see it is this: Edwards is back. So if Trent goes, we're getting at least 150 mil minimum anyway.
1 year left.
That's all. 150. Oh well, yeah, we've got 1 year left.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah. Contract.
No, I think it'll be less than that with 1 year left. I do think Trent needs to be in midfield, though, personally, and I do think he wants to be in midfield. I don't know how he takes to being asked to play right back again, but then we've signed a lot of midfielders that would make it then harder for us to move forward with Trent then in midfield. So I don't know what the solution is, to be fair.
I think with Trent,
he's going Madrid.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be obviously he's a top player, and you don't want to see your top players leave the club. We've seen that over the years. These top players have left, but we've kept it moving. As long as we get as much money as we possibly can for him, then fair play. I just think he's better. He's better from deep. As a number 6, I don't think he's disciplined enough. As a number 6, as a number 8, I think the jury's out in respect of we all know that he can find these long raking passes, and he's got his ability just keeps on surprising me. Even when he tried to score from the halfway line on Sunday, the bare audacity to try and do something like that. He's just the audacity. Some of the passing, it's a joke. Sometimes you have to think and go, Trent, can you put down that cigar, mate? Put it in the ashtray, mate, because that's ridiculous. There's some balls that you think not one player, there's not many players would have the audacity or the bravery to try some of the balls that he's done or some of the passes that he does. And, you know, he's absolutely amazing on that. I just, like you say, whether he doesn't want to be handpicked playing right back with that amount of ability. You know, the only team you can possibly do that for is Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trent's a difficult one, man, because I think he's reached a point where I think he's right to ask that he should be considered to be a midfielder now. Personally, I just think, he's had a lot of responsibility from fullback, from a creative perspective that your average fullback doesn't have. And I think he probably would be better in midfield. But it will be interesting to see, because if I'm watching what Toni Kroos is doing right now and he's coming to the end, I'm thinking, mate, I generally think that's a blueprint for how Trent could be playing the game. And I just think you're almost wasting him at fullback. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, I just feel like he's just not disciplined enough positionally.
He's not. You can't play there when he plays in bloody defence.
Yeah.
And that's your main job is to defend. So how the hell you going to be the midfielder looking to do that? Nah, he's not that disciplined to me. To be fair, number 6 is the old man's position. To play that position, you need maturity, just like Fred said.
Yes.
The doctor said it about being more mature.
Yes, I'd have Trent next to a destroyer. That's how I would do it. But then you then got Mac 10, who's probably going to be playing in that kind of role. So I just don't know what it means for the team. If you said to me, who would I rather have next to a destroyer, Mac 10 or Trent? I'm going to say Trent all day, personally. But it'd be interesting to see what the new manager does. But I do think that we are holding him back. I think this is the Gareth Bale moment.
It could be, but like you said, you know what? We'll get some good money for him. We will get some good money for him. And we'll definitely, Edwards can definitely look at a good replacement. It would be a bit helpful, because especially, you know what, being one of our own, and that, you know, you think to yourself, because you also see him as probably that future captain and all the rest of it, you know. But the young lad, he's done everything with Liverpool, to be fair. So you know what, it could be time for a new challenge. So we'll watch this space, man. We'll watch this space. So, gentlemen, we'll get on to Darwin now, because you know we have to get on to Darwin. So, all right. So they're saying about the death threats and all that. What do you mean that you received? But I had my VPN on, so what do you mean? Yeah.
What country you in?
Yeah, they were coming from what do you call it? Timbuktu and all sorts of places, bro. Trust me. They were coming from all over. But so all right, Jets. Do you want him gone end of the season then? Yes or no?
No.
For me, it's a yes.
Right. Stoney says no. Doctor, what do you say?
For me, it's a yes. I just think I want him to do well. Like what he represents, but I just think the stats are the stats. I just don't think he's good enough. It's not even that I don't think he's good enough. The stats tell you that he's not good enough.
Okay. Stoney, you said yes.
The reason why I say yes is I just want to see. Yeah. So I said no. I want him to remain for another season. My rationale behind that is I just want to see Darwin being coached by another player. By another manager and another set of coaching staff. And to see whether that actually makes a difference to how he's playing. Also, with one more season, he's got all the other attributes apart from actually eating his dinner regularly. So he may just need that one extra season for us to see whether he does then become what we believe he can possibly be. So that's why I want him to remain for one more season.
Freds.
Yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to having him for one more season. I think he's going to be a late bloomer. I think he's going to be. I'm hoping that he can turn it around and put away the chances. I mean, that's ultimately if he puts away most of those chances, his confidence grows. He becomes a better player. And I'm just thinking, if he starts putting those chances away, he's had opportunities. Maybe he can grow into a more confident, more established, a more consistent goal scorer.
Okay, question, gents. And the thing is, I share your views. I do want to see how he does with a new manager, and maybe a slightly more organized attacking system might be it might help him. 100, I can see all of that. It's almost just like it's going to be his third season, and we're still saying let's see what he does in his third season. I think my view would be this. The bar has been so low because he's been so bad. This season he was a lot better, but last season, let's just be real, innit? He was so bad. Klopp needed to then sign Cody in January and then play Cody through the middle. Like it's been poor. So the question I would say is, where the bar for him has been so low, I think then the bar moving forward is equally low. So the question would be, can you see Darwin banging 30 league goals?
Yes.
30 league goals. He has the potential.
Not 30 goals, Preds. 30 league goals.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had the stat. Yeah, but you know what? I'm an optimist, and in regards to the stats, and yes, he has had a lot of attempts on goal, but I think, like I said the other week, I think we also got to balance it out. Is he's not been hitting like the top of the stand, or he's not been kicking the ball over the stand or whatever. A lot of his shots, in effect, has been saved by the goalkeepers.
Saves the goalkeepers shouldn't be making, bro, because he shouldn't give him a chance.
No, but no, it's not a case of that. As a goalkeeper, as a goalkeeper, you're there to do a job in regards to making saves.
But if the striker hits the ball straight at you, there's not really much to do.
Yeah, but most of them are straight at them. But most of them are being instinctive saves.
My grand could do that, but she's not here no more.
No, look, let's balance it all out. Come on, instinctive saves.
I'm not
instinctive. When you have a goalkeeper, and there you're devaluing. Yeah, but there you're devaluing a goalkeeper's job in regards to. If it's at him, he still has to make a save.
If you're going bottom left and bottom right bins and the keeper's pulling out worldies, yes, I can say that. But if you're hitting it straight at the keeper, what's the point?
Yeah, but you got to remember the ball is coming in at 190 and 100 miles per hour. So sometimes he's got to have a reaction.
Bro,
he's got to come over
150 bags, 200 bags a week, bro.
Yeah, but it happens to a lot of strikers. Yeah, it happens to a lot of strikers.
It happens to him a lot more than anybody else.
And a lot of goalkeepers, and he's made goalkeepers make a save. How can you have a go at a striker who works a goalkeeper?
So you're both right.
But he works goalkeeper.
No, so Prince. I think just to balance the point, there was a period of the season, I can't remember when, it might be in December to say February, for example, where Preds is right. Darwin, officially, the stats were saying was unlucky. He was getting chances, and keepers were making worldies. The stats kind of say that he was actually putting in good effort. He was still missing, but putting in good efforts. In recent months, his finishing has then gone backwards to now he's just toe punting again. So now he's just blasting the ball straight at the goalkeeper. So now the quality of his efforts have been poor. Like He's not trying to hit corners or go around the keeper. He's just blasting it. So his actual finishing has regressed. Now,
So is that so? Just to hold up on that one. So is that him being a bad player, or is that him being a human being in respect of players? Football players, a large degree of football players rely on confidence. If you're having a confidence and you score goals, you get the confidence. When you don't score goals, obviously you get confidence, and the confidence wanes a slightly bit. So in regards to is that a bad striker, or is it a case of he's just low on confidence?
Question: like, do you think the crowd gets to him? Like he gets carried away and all that? And he
I think in regards to the I think he feeds off the crowd, and I think he wants to please the crowd, and in some ways I think he's trying too hard to please the fans. In some way,
Reese Hearn, get it on, man, get it on.
Because why I asked that, there was a montage going around, probably just to give him a bit of confidence and to kind of counterbalance, obviously, that he's been struggling, of his goals at Benfica, where for that season, like, he looked very good and was finishing his chances. And I thought to myself, that goal, well, not goal, the chance against Spurs when he runs through and just blasts it, if that was against Benfica, I mean, say if it was for Benfica, wouldn't it have been different? Now, the key thing for me, well, I don't know if it's key, but could be key, is that season where he performed well and scored a lot of goals was the COVID season. So therefore, there was empty grounds. There's no one in the crowd. So his best season, his only season where he's been prolific, has been when there were no crowds. So my thing is,
that's a hard thing to prove. That's a very hard thing to prove.
I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying that season there were no crowds. There were no crowds.
Yeah, but then people say, yeah, but then people say that the reason why we won the league is because there was no crowds.
No, that's not true though.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but you can't throw. I mean, that is
that's not true. That's real. Craig.
Yeah, but that's a real.
We had won the league, and there was
but that's a far fetched.
That's wrapped up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in regards to that, that's a really far fetched kind of assumption in regards to, not an assumption.
I know what you mean. It's a theory, yeah.
It's a theory, yeah. It's a far-fetched theory in regards to he didn't perform. But I mean, when he played against Liverpool and scored a goal, he scored a goal in front of the supporters. Like, it's human. This guy's human, and I'm not saying, all right, that he shouldn't have scored most of the goals. I genuinely believe he should be scoring a lot more goals. I'm very frustrated in regards to he runs off a side. I'm very frustrated in regards to his movement in and around. However, I'm also at the point of we have to balance things out, and like it or not, every player's gone through it. Every great striker's gone through it, where they have this confidence, they have a blip in confidence, and it does affect you. Now, my opinion is that he's trying so hard that he's almost trying too hard, to the point where it's having a detrimental impact on his performances in regards to his composure and quality in front of the goal at the moment. I don't think the quality leaves yet. He's been scoring goals for Benfica. He scored goals for us as well over the time he's been here. He doesn't become a bad player overnight. There are things that may impact a player in respect of when they have bad form, no confidence, and they try to snatch. Like you can see, he's snatching at some chances because he's desperate to score.
Friends, something you just said there, which I think we'd have to talk about. Yeah, is you said you don't become a bad player overnight. Now, technically, he was bought as potential. So, was he ever a good player?
Great point.
Think about that.
Potentially good player.
He was bought as potential. So you can't turn around and say, yeah, you become a bad player overnight. That's someone who's been doing it.
But surely to get to a level, you have to be at a good level. You can't do, like when you're saying potential. Yes, I get what you're saying, but ultimately, he must have been a good player to have that opportunity to come to Liverpool Football Club.
He looked like a good player.
Yeah, but he is a good player. Like you Yeah, but you can't say any player. It's very rare you can say in the Premiership or in any of the top leagues that players are not good. Let's keep it real. These players are good players because they're playing at elite level of football. They're not playing Sunday football. So we have to give them their due respect in regards to they're playing in a very hard industry, and where hundreds of thousands of kids who dream to play in that elite level. To say that players are not good at that level is a disrespect to the players.
Nah, sorry, I disagree.
Disrespect.
It's remember, some people who make it,
Not all
bro. A lot of the
but
time,
they made it. Regardless of
what you know.
Yeah, but regardless of
what you know is who you know.
Yeah, but regardless of who you know, what you know,
that,
they still performed on the stage. They've still had the opportunity to perform at the stage.
Oh yeah, Darwin's of a talent to be playing at the highest level, no doubt. But I guess we're talking about the small margins of if we are to believe. Well, I guess based on what Slot's done or Slot does, his system is based around. Obviously, he wants goals from everywhere, but he wants a number 9 to basically be the main goal scorer. So the question is, we're going to base a team now which is going to be even more heavily reliant on your number 9 being the main goal scorer. So forget Mo Salah now being the team's main goal scorer. The chances, the patterns of play, how we're going to be creating situations, going to be getting Darwin as many chances, or who's ever in the number 9 position, as many chances as possible. Now, like I said, I hope he does it because I want him to do well. Do I think he will? If he said to me, yeah, like to bet my mortgage, I'd probably say no, simply because I just think he's had 4 seasons now, 2 at Liverpool, 2 in Benfica, of top elite level football in Europe, and only 1 season's been prolific. So I just think, are we asking him?
You're talking about a season at Benfica that was prolific.
The second season, yeah, the first season. Just had a look. Yeah, the first season he scores. Well, 29 appearances, he gets 60, like he gets 6 goals. Second season, 28 appearances, 26 goals. But like I said, that second season, a large part of that is there's no crowds.
What would be a respectful? What would you deem as a respectful goal scoring league return for Darwin Núñez? Because RT said you would expect Darwin to get 30 goals a season. I'm just gonna throw that.
I didn't say 30. I said
okay. I asked if he could get 30.
Pred said that, and Pred said yes, and I said what you get. I said 30 league goals, yeah, not all round goals, yeah.
Right. For me, I would not envisage Darwin getting 30 league goals. And the only reason why I say that, I'm thinking of the clutch strikers over the last few seasons. Haaland's in that conversation, right? I think since Mo's been with us, has Mo only done that once or twice? Actual league goals, 30?
Once, yeah.
And then are we looking at Harry Kane?
Once or twice, he has, yeah.
Once or twice,
on the seasons he got 32 league goals.
Cool. But then if you look at all of the other forwards who have been putting in those numbers for the last 2 seasons, even if you think of Saka at one season was banging in goals constantly for Arsenal, he's not even getting 30 league goals. Jesus wasn't getting 30 league goals. What other forward? Even Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins may be on about 27. Even Tony, when he before he banned, he didn't get anywhere near 30 goals for Brentford. Isak hasn't. So I'm just thinking of all of the main strikers or offensive players for all of the other teams that have actually played. Even if you look back over the last 10 years, none of them, apart from, as he said, Haaland and probably Salah and Kane. I don't even think Kane's hit 30 league goals. So for me, if there's going to be a return from Darwin Núñez and he's coming in with about 20, then I think that's respectful. That's just my opinion anyway.
But Fred said he believes he could get 30.
What? Oh, no, that's fine.
Why am
Fred is entitled to that opinion.
I don't believe that my striker can get 30 goals.
You mentioned all them strikers, and none of them are doing it. I can't see it myself. Sorry. I see Darwin as a very good athlete. not a great footballer to me. I'm watching his technique and everything, and he's not. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not. And you need to be at that elite level and scoring them amount of goals. You need to be. There's too many chances that go wasted when he's got the ball. And you can't be telling me you're going to hit them numbers when you're wasting them chances. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but we've said that about so many strikers over the years, and then it's gone like that. Like I remember back in the day, Andy Cole. They said that Andy Cole was the best striker of attempts of goals. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, bam! All of a sudden, and I'm just using as an example. I'm not saying that they're the same type of players. I'm just saying that in one season, like in one season where people were looking at Andy Cole and saying he's not much of a striker, and then all of a sudden, bam! He went to Bristol City, started scoring goals, and it all changed for him. That simply could that scenario could happen again for Darwin Núñez. I'm merely saying that I'm a believer, I'm an optimist, and if I want to believe that my striker can score 30 goals. So if he can't, then
let me ask you a different question then. So there's links of, well, I don't know if it's true or not, that Barcelona want him. Bearing in mind he cost 65, rising to 85. He's probably cost us around 75 based on those add-ons. So we spent around that on him. If Barcelona were to put in, let's say 55, because it's going to be slightly below what we've paid, but still not bad. If Barcelona put in 55 for him, do you accept it?
100%. 100%. I'm helping him pack. 100%.
I think that would be a reasonable bid for Barcelona, because they clearly, and they made it clear that they're looking for a replacement for Lewandowski. Yeah. I would probably want closer to 65 for Darwin. I would want closer to 65 for Darwin, and I believe in this current climate we'd get that for him.
On what basis?
It's football.
Listen.
Football finance makes no sense. Football finance makes no sense.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I can understand when people put up an argument. Boy, my man's a finisher and blah blah. That's fair enough. What are you going to tell him? What, he's got potential?
No, if they're going to be making a bid, or if they're looking at him, they're clearly seeing something in him. So they'll come for the money.
Yeah. And you know what? He probably would do well over there. This ain't the Prem.
Yeah.
This ain't the Prem.
I think if Núñez was to go, and I think a lot of people have forgotten as well the situation Barcelona are in. Barcelona aren't in a position to spend that amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So if Darwin's going to go, Darwin's going initially on loan. We're not getting a lump sum to go out and thingy. So it's you got to then weigh it up. If it's a loan situation, because Barcelona simply won't be able to, well, they on the outside they're saying that they can't raise any money, they're skint, and they can't raise 55 million. Then it's initially going to be a loan with the assumption of making it a permanent deal at some point for a reduced amount of money. But Barcelona is not going. So if it's going to be a loan deal, how's that going to benefit Liverpool Football Club?
That's not going to benefit us, and I wouldn't agree to that. I don't want that.
Because, like you said,
I want the cash.
Yeah, but Barcelona are not cash rich.
No. Because at the moment, haven't they've got Cancelo and Dixter, and they're both on loan. They haven't even been bought by Barcelona.
No.
If you think of it like that.
Cancelo from Man City.
Oh, sorry, Cancelo from Man City. He's actually on loan. Well. They haven't even been. And the same thing, João Felix. So I agree with you, Preds. I didn't even look at it like that. You're right, Preds.
They haven't got some big money though. So if he moves on, but I guess that's the point. Based on how you currently see Darwin, how good you think he is, how good you think he can be, would you be taking £50 million for him or £55 million for him?
Yes, I'm taking it.
I mean, look, you get 50 million quid for him. Name me someone you're going to buy for 50 million quid who's going to replace him.
You ain't. You're going to have to put money on him. Unless unless
I hear it.
Why would you show?
Edwards and Hughes are doing their
Yeah.
business. Unless Edwards and Hughes are
Yeah,
working
fair
their
enough. I just think, if you're going to get 50 million and then you're going to have to add on money to get a player to replace Darwin in a football in a business sense, and I'm not too wise on the business sense because I rely on Dr. Blake and Stoney for the business side of things, and you, Artie, not leaving you out, all right? Because I'm just a purist. I just want to play football. But on that point of view, if you're selling 50 million and then having to add money on, so if, for instance, you want to get the boy from Napoli,
yeah,
he's gonna cost at least 120 mil. So you're looking to put an extra 70 mil on money now. Like I said, I
reckon you get him for 100. I reckon you get him for 100.
No, I hear what you're saying, Preds, but the other side to that is that you keep Darwin, he doesn't perform, and then you don't make top 4, and you miss out on Champions League money and stuff like that. And these are the things that they would have to weigh up.
Yeah. It's a decision to make.
If they're gonna sell Darwin, they know it's gonna be at a loss. They're cutting the losses basically.
Yeah.
They understand that it hasn't worked out. We need to cut him, get what we can for him, and move on. If we have to put in some more money to invest, then fair enough.
Yeah, it's a decision that Edwards is going to have to take. He's in that position to make those decisions.
Exactly.
So the pressure, not pressure, but the eyes are going to be on this particular situation. And like I said, but as much as he's doing and what's happening with Darwin, I still just don't agree with people going online and threatening.
Listen, but people's out there, it was just banter. Yeah, it's banter now. I don't agree with things like that. And getting people's family involved and all that kind of things, his wife and all that. It's bang out of order.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She didn't even respond. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway. Vinny says, I'd like him to stay, but I think it may be best for him to leave because this week has become a pivotal point for him. He's clearly a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. Abdul, listen, I know we are running short on time. We'll get to Arnie's slot. We've spoken about that before, but we will get to that. Richard, big shouts goes out to you. Thanks for joining. Who would you sell and buy in the summer? That I think is definitely for another show.
That's another show, that is.
Darwin, let me stop watching this show. What a waste. Abdul says we give time on players to adapt. Someone's we need to sell and move on. Let's get Artie Prince in the ring. Richard says, everyone, great panel, insight into Liverpool FC, respect, diversity, multicultural. Big shouts goes out to you. Vinny says, good point, Doctor. I think he's really felt loved by the fans. This last week has shaken his belief in them. I've said Darwin isn't a natural finisher. You can't teach a striker to naturally finish his dinner. Darwin just isn't good enough. I'd keep Nunes over Diaz, truth be told. Woo! Okay, VW. Woo! That's a bit contentious right there. He's fooled us as fans by running around and beating his chest. Getting out of our club. Was he playing King Kong?
But it's true though. He does do that, innit?
Darwin is good professional, but Liverpool elites. VW says the greatest cock talk episode ever.
Can I just pull it out there? Can I just pull it out there as well?
We do this alone, gentlemen.
Can I just pull it out there? I am not going in the boxing ring of Artie.
Disagreements, of course, that's how it's supposed to be. Difference of opinion, that's what football is about, man. The theory of Darwin evolution is a polarizing topic.
That's a good one, Vinny. That's a great one. That's a great one.
Woo! Vinny says, no way. 70 minimum.
From who? Barca?
Listen, it's good he asks in that, right? But is anybody willing to pay that for him? Remember, we're watching what they're watching. They're seeing the same thing as what we're seeing. So why am I then going to go pay 70 million for him?
Only people who are paying 70 for Darwin is Saudi. And I don't think he's willing to go Saudi yet. But Brad, look, I just think I'm not sure that I would sell him, but if you did take the money for him and you didn't have the money to get an Osimhen, I just think you go to Crystal Palace in it and you say, "What's my boy Mateta saying, man?" I just think you go to Palace, man, and Mateta saying, "Give me." I think he's saying, "Give me those 7 shots a game, and I'm getting you more than like 11 league goals at the end of the season."
Oh, come on.
And I'm giving you hold up play.
Come on. I've still got that in the locker, mate. Come on.
Because Mateta, whew,
Darwin News will cost 30 million to 40 million max. Luis Diaz 45 to 60 million max. And Salah 70 to 100 million max. Not at his age, mate. Not after this season. If we let him go this season, I'm talking about this.
it's hard on his salary.
That will happen. But yeah, there were some other questions in there that people's like, I think we're gonna have to leave that for another show. They're asking about what we think about certain players. Richard is asking about Frimpong, Ishak, Elise, Paulina, Inacio. I think at some point over the
Isak is the man.
Talking about all of them players.
Isak is the man.
Yeah, we're talking about all of them players there, 100%. But yeah, I'd like to think that, like we just spoke about, Edwards and Hughes, they can do their business and they can find someone who maybe isn't that expensive but can still do a job. How much did Newcastle pay for Isak?
60.
There you go.
Richarlison was a little bit more.
Yeah.
Richarlison. I don't rate him either, though.
But you know what?
I don't rate him either.
Hello.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The issue, right? There does just seem to be a lack of top quality number 9s, and it's weird to think about even just the talent that England are coming through. All these young technical ballers. We obviously mentioned Saka, Elliott, Palmer, Foden. The list goes on. Bellingham, the guy from he's at Bayern, Musiala came through. All these talented players. You think to yourself, where are the number 9s, man? Because how do you go from Brazil having R9 to your number 9 now being a bench guy at Spurs? It's like, what the hell's gone on? Like, it's hard to really think about this. How have you gone from Ronaldo to Richarlison? Like, something's gone wrong.
It is scary. That's why I think I like Tony so much, because he wants to be that guy up there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to right. Just the last question before we have to depart, gentlemen. You're Gareth Southgate, and you got one more spot for a striker: Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney.
Tony.
Okay, Prince. Who you taking? Doctor and Stoney. Who you taking, man?
That's interesting because Ollie Watkins scored, but he also does a lot of assists. But I also like the way that Tony plays.
Yep.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go for Tony.
Okay, that's 2 for Tony. Doctor.
I think I'm gonna go with Watkins only because I think Tony and Kane are a similar profile of player. And I think I probably want Watkins, who offers me something slightly different. But I do think Tony's better than Watkins as an all-round player, though. Sorry, last one, lads. Apologies, because I have this conversation in one of the Liverpool groups. Darwin or Solanke?
Oh, do you know what? I was going to mention him earlier on, you know. I was going to mention him earlier on. When he spoke about Mateta, and I was going to mention Solanke.
If a man's hesitating on that question, that's a problem.
No. The only reason why I wasn't being disrespectful, I just didn't want to interject. The only reason why there would be an issue with Solanke is, to my knowledge, the only 2 players Liverpool ever brought back is Robbie Fowler and Ian Rush. So I know Solanke ain't coming back for Liverpool. So
no, he's asking hypothetically.
It's not a cop out.
No, he's not
Hypothetical.
Hypothetically, I would go for Darwin.
Yeah, I would as well.
So
I would as well.
So you can start next season with either Solanke or Darwin, and you're picking Darwin. I kind of see the point as well. I think I'm probably leaning towards Darwin as well, only because I don't want to accept how concerned I am actually about him. Because if I'm being honest, I think I'm taking Solanke all day, because I just feel, even if Solanke's finishing isn't always prolific, I know the other parts of his game are watertight. Hold up play, link up play. I can feed off him. He's gonna keep it for me. I can hit it long for him. I can put it in the box.
footballer. And he looks
I just
like
think
a footballer.
The fundamentals of a centre forward, I know that I'm going to get from Solanke week in, week out. The finishing part, I don't know if that's always going to be prolific, but he's going to give me enough of the other things. Whereas Nunes,
he's managing to do it in a Bournemouth team. He's hitting numbers in a Bournemouth team, so you'd expect him to do better in a better team.
He was at a better team.
He was at a better team.
He was, but that was a bit earlier in his career.
But he was, and even then, he was at Chelsea. He was at Chelsea. He was at Liverpool. He went and won the England went and won the England under-20s World Cup.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, he came.
I'm
to
still
Liverpool.
staying with Solanke. Solanke, what? He's hit 18 goals this season.
It might work better for Darwin somewhere else, just like it's worked better for Solanke.
Give him one more season, man.
Look, as long as Nunes still wears, as long as he wears the stalk, you know what I mean. Then end of the day, I'm still gonna try, and I'm gonna support my players.
Solanke can score goals. Nunes run like Milan Barros. Hey,
so Solanke, 36 matches, 18 goals, 3 assists. That's Premier League, and you got to imagine how many chances he's actually getting in the game as well. There ain't going to be much.
I'm telling you.
Sometimes you have
to but hold on. You're comparing players who are playing in teams that are lower in the league. And by the way, Solanke's had his opportunity, however old he was, to perform for Liverpool Football Club. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just saying at this present moment in time, I will still look. Darwin Nunes is in the club, and as a football supporter, I'm going to support my players thick and thin until they leave that club. Solanke has already had his opportunity. Solanke is not in the same level as Robbie Fowler in regards to bringing him back to play in the team ahead of another player. And Ian Ruff. I mean, Nunes is not in the same level. However, Nunes has got the opportunity. He's got the advantage where he's in the club, and I don't see the point of not supporting players who are in the club to kind of say, well, look, get him out. Like, he's in the club, and until the club say he's no longer at the club, I have no qualms in supporting any of the players.
What, like Gapko, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I hammered Gapko. I hammered every time. It seems like every time I hammer these players, they fix up. I hammered Gomez, he fixed up. I hammered Jota, he fixed up. I hammered
Nunes about a season and a half ago, mate.
and he's still, you know, look, like I said, he's still a player for the club, and I'm going to support him until.
I'm talking literally. I pray Nunes don't become a roaring in. Let's just hope the ponytail is the only thing in common. My good God. Listen. On that note, gentlemen, I think, we're definitely going to have to call it time. Thank you very much, people, for joining us. Remember, this is the only place to be on a Thursday night at 10 o'clock, Cock Talk. My tremendous panel, man. I tell you, listen, not all the arguments, it's all love, man. All love, I must say. All love.
It's definitely love, mate, because I'm not stepping in the boxing room with you, brother.
Hold on, sorry, gents. Apologies. I'm still there.
Here we go.
It's been a long week. It hasn't been a long week. It's been a boring week. 32 appearances, 13 league goals, 5 assists.
Who's
Is
that?
that Nunes?
Nunes
That's the brother from Palace.
Oh, Mateta.
Nunes is 34 matches, 11 goals, 8 assists. The record that I just read out of 32 matches, 13 goals, 5 assists, a comparable record to Nunes, right? Is none other than Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, that's a whole different.
No,
that's a whole.
He's definitely
Show.
trying to
That's another show.
That's the company he's keeping, gents. That's the company he's keeping.
Yeah, for real. Hey, but listen, before we go, I will say one thing on that. He did score like a hat trick or something like that against one dead team, though, to boost up them facts, them stats. Yeah, remember that. Okay. Anyway,
Who's the dead team?
but I can't remember. I remember he scored a hat trick against a dead team. Yeah, it might have been yeah, you're right.
No, it was Spurs, isn't it?
It was them.
It was Spurs, but they had like 9 men, didn't it?
You're right. Yes, you're right. You're right. It was.
Was it 9 men they had, or was it 8 men? Something like that. It was something crazy, isn't it? It was like 8 men they had, isn't it?
Tony, my brother, thank you very much.
No, thank you. It was good. This show, it was 2 minutes Liverpool, 1 minute 44 minutes Darwin Nunes. So it's all good, man.
I'm telling you, Dr. Blake, thank you very much, sir.
Glad to be back, gents, man. It's been good today, man.
Yeah, nice one, man. Preds.
Hey, it's great to be on the show, and listen, the interactive interaction from the watchers as well has been absolutely brilliant. The questions and the comments. Okay, I think they've complimented the show, and you've been part of the show as well. So where you're saying the great show from you guys as well.
Thank you very much, my peoples. So do remember to log in next week, same time, same place, and catch us right here.